At the prestigious Gracefield Academy for Girls, Ada, Nneka, and Ifeoma have been inseparable since their first day of high school. Their friendship is the talk of the school, three bright, beautiful girls who seem to have everything going for them. Ada is the quiet, bookish one, Nneka is bold and outspoken, while Ifeoma is the charismatic social butterfly. As final year students, they are determined to finish strong, dreaming about the future and sharing every moment together. However, their seemingly unbreakable bond begins to show its first cracks when the girls attend a joint event with the neighboring boys' school, Oakridge Academy. It's here that they meet Uche, a tall, charming boy who captures the attention of each of them in different ways. What begins as playful teasing about who Uche likes the most sets the stage for a rivalry none of them saw coming. The girls can't stop talking about Uche after the event. Ada tries to dismiss her feelings, focusing on her studies, but she secretly enjoys the thought of him. Nneka, on the other hand, is more open about her interest, confident that she'll catch his eye with her bold personality. Ifeoma, with her natural charm, believes Uche will eventually choose her because everyone else does. Days after the event, Uche sends a friend request to all three girls on social media. Each girl feels a surge of excitement but doesn't mention it to the others. Slowly, the foundation of their friendship begins to shift as private conversations with Uche start behind the scenes. None of them realize that their feelings for him will soon cause tension they won't be able to control. As the weeks go by, the dynamic between Ada, Nneka, and Ifeoma changes. They still spend time together, but there's an undercurrent of competition that didn't exist before. Uche becomes the unspoken topic of conversation, and each girl wonders what the others might be doing to win his affection. Uche starts messaging Ada the most, asking about her favorite books and offering to meet up at the library. Ada feels special but keeps it to herself, afraid of how Nneka and Ifeoma would react. Meanwhile, Nneka's conversations with Uche are more flirty and direct. He tells her he likes her confidence, and she assumes he's leaning toward her. Ifeoma, however, is convinced Uche likes her best because he always compliments her Instagram photos. The secret interactions create a growing sense of distrust among the friends, though none of them admit it. They begin to subtly compete for Uche's attention, while pretending nothing has changed. One afternoon, Nneka overhears Ada talking to Uche on the phone while they are supposed to be studying. Her heart sinks as she realizes Ada has been hiding her relationship with Uche. Nneka's competitive nature flares up, and she confronts Ada after the call. What was that all about? Nneka asks, trying to keep her voice steady. Ada hesitates, stammering that it's nothing, just a casual conversation. But Nneka doesn't buy it. Hurt and feeling betrayed, she decides to keep her distance from Ada, although she doesn't reveal what she heard to Ifeoma. Meanwhile, Ifeoma senses the growing distance between her two friends but is too caught up in her own efforts to impress Uche to intervene. The girls' once effortless friendship now feels heavy with unspoken words and hidden agendas. Things come to a head when Uche invites the girls to a football match at Oakridge Academy. Each of them, excited by the prospect of spending time with him, dresses their best, hoping to catch his eye. As they gather at the game, the tension between Ada and Nneka is palpable, while Ifeoma remains blissfully unaware of the brewing storm. During the game, Uche spends time with all three girls but seems especially attentive to Ada. Nneka notices every interaction and can't hold back her anger any longer. During a break, she pulls Ada aside and accuses her of lying about her connection with Uche. Ada, feeling attacked, retaliates, saying it's not her fault Uche seems to like her more. Their argument attracts Ifeoma's attention, who finally realizes the depth of the situation. The once strong friendship is now fractured, with jealousy and bitterness taking root. Uche is unaware of the growing rift between the girls, though he's starting to feel the pressure of balancing his relationships with them. He enjoys Ada's intellect, is drawn to Nneka's boldness, and can't help but be charmed by Ifeoma's social ease. But he hasn't made a choice, and each girl is growing more desperate for his attention. Nneka, frustrated by Uche's mixed signals, decides to play a game of her own. She begins flirting with one of Uche's closest friends, hoping to make him jealous. Meanwhile, Ifeoma increases her efforts to draw Uche in, posting more photos and making subtle moves to outshine her friends. Ada, though less obvious, grows more emotionally attached to Uche, seeing him as someone who understands her in a way the others don't. The once carefree interactions between the friends have now become a strategic battlefield, with each girl plotting her next move to win Uche's heart. As the days go by, Ifeoma starts noticing how much time Uche spends with Ada. The two seem closer than ever, often sitting together in the library and exchanging inside jokes. Feeling left out and deceived, Ifeoma confronts Ada, accusing her of secretly pursuing Uche while pretending everything was normal between them. Ada, feeling guilty but also defensive, tells Ifeoma that she never meant for things to turn out this way. But the damage is done. Ifeoma storms off, vowing to distance herself from Ada and Nneka, who she believes are playing games behind her back. Trust, once the glue holding the friends together, is now completely shattered. With their friendship in tatters, the girls begin avoiding each other. Ada becomes more reclusive, hiding in the library to escape the guilt gnawing at her. Nneka, still angry, throws herself into extracurricular activities, trying to keep busy and move past the drama. Ifeoma, meanwhile, focuses on expanding her social circle, becoming closer to other students in the school. The distance between them grows wider with each passing day, and even the teachers notice the once unbreakable trio drifting apart. Uche, sensing the tension but unsure of its cause, continues to reach out to all three girls, unintentionally making things worse. The friendship that was once their strength has now become a source of pain. Determined to regain control of the situation, Ifeoma devises a plan. She decides to host a party at her house, inviting both her new friends and Uche. Her goal is simple: to show Ada and Nneka that she can move on without them, and to finally get Uche to choose her. Ifeoma's party is the talk of the school, and everyone eagerly anticipates it. But behind the scenes, her plan is motivated by jealousy and a desire for revenge. Ada and Nneka both receive invites, but neither is sure if they should attend, given the current state of their friendship. The night of the party arrives, and Ifeoma's house is filled with music, laughter, and excitement. Ada and Nneka, after much hesitation, both decide to attend, hoping to mend things with Ifeoma. Uche arrives late, immediately drawing attention as he greets Ifeoma warmly. Throughout the night, Ifeoma makes a point to stay close to Uche, flaunting their connection in front of Ada and Nneka. But instead of feeling victorious, Ifeoma starts to realize that winning Uche's attention comes at a cost. Her friendship with Ada and Nneka may never recover. At the party, the atmosphere becomes tense as the three girls avoid each other. Ada, uncomfortable with how close Ifeoma and Uche seem, tries to keep her distance, but she can't help feeling hurt. Nneka watches the scene unfold with a growing sense of frustration. She has her own doubts about whether Uche even cares for any of them at all, or if he's just enjoying the attention. As the night wears on, Uche becomes aware of the growing awkwardness between the girls. Confused, he tries to engage each of them in conversation, but it only seems to make things worse. Ifeoma's attempts to monopolize Uche's attention are clear, and Ada and Nneka begin to feel more alienated. What was supposed to be a fun night for everyone has turned into a battleground of silent resentment. Unable to bear the tension any longer, Nneka decides to confront Ifeoma. She pulls her aside during the party and bluntly asks what her game is. "Are you really trying to win Uche like this? What happened to our friendship?" Nneka demands, her voice tight with anger. Ifeoma, still fueled by jealousy and hurt, fires back, accusing Nneka of being no better. "You were all fine with chasing Uche behind my back. Don't pretend you're any different." Ada overhears the argument and steps in, trying to calm things down, but her presence only adds fuel to the fire. Soon, the three girls are embroiled in a full-blown argument, airing out all their grievances and accusations. The once solid friendship crumbles before their eyes as the party guests watch from a distance, unsure of what to make of the scene unfolding before them. Later that night, Uche finds himself in a difficult situation as he watches the fallout between the girls. Realizing that he's been at the center of their conflict, he decides to have an honest conversation with them. He pulls each girl aside, one by one, starting with Ada. He tells Ada that while he values their intellectual connection, he doesn't see their relationship going beyond friendship. Ada, though disappointed, feels some relief at the clarity. Next, Uche talks to Nneka, admitting that while he finds her boldness attractive, he's not ready for anything serious. Nneka takes the news in stride but feels a mix of frustration and sadness. Finally, Uche speaks to Ifeoma. He tells her that while he enjoys her company, he doesn't want to be the cause of their broken friendship. Ifeoma, realizing that her pursuit of Uche has cost her more than she expected, feels a deep pang of regret. In the days following the party, the girls barely speak to one another. Each of them is lost in their own thoughts, processing the events that led to their falling out. Ada throws herself into her studies, determined to focus on her academic future. Nneka continues with her extracurricular activities, but there's a noticeable change in her mood. She's less outspoken, more introspective. Ifeoma, on the other hand, tries to maintain her social life, but she can't shake the guilt she feels over what happened. For the first time, she realizes that she may have been the one to push their friendship to the breaking point. The weight of that realization weighs heavily on her, but she's unsure how to make things right. A few weeks pass, and the girls settle into their separate routines. One day, Ada is approached by their literature teacher, who has noticed the change in her behavior. The teacher invites Ada to stay after class for a talk, where she gently encourages Ada to think about what really matters in life: friendship, trust, and personal growth. The conversation leaves Ada thinking deeply about the choices she's made and the way she's let her emotions control her actions. She realizes that her pursuit of Uche, and her secrecy about it, contributed to the rift between her and her friends. Ada begins to wonder if there's still a chance to fix what's broken. Meanwhile, Nneka begins to reflect on her role in the situation as well. She thinks back to her confrontation with Ada and Ifeoma, recognizing how her own pride and competitive spirit fueled the conflict. She feels a deep sense of regret, especially for the harsh words she used during the argument. Nneka starts to consider reaching out to Ada and Ifeoma, but she's unsure of how to begin. Her usual confidence feels shaken, and the thought of apologizing makes her uneasy. Still, she knows that if she wants any chance of repairing their friendship, she'll have to swallow her pride. Ifeoma, who has been carrying the heaviest guilt, finally decides to make the first move. She texts Ada and Nneka, asking to meet up after school. Though both girls are hesitant, they agree, and the three friends find themselves sitting together in their old spot in the school courtyard. Ifeoma is the first to speak, apologizing sincerely for her actions. She admits that she let her jealousy and desire for Uche cloud her judgment and hurt the people she cared about the most. Ada and Nneka listen quietly, and for the first time in weeks, they feel the possibility of healing. After Ifeoma's apology, Ada and Nneka also take responsibility for their part in the falling out. Ada admits to hiding her feelings about Uche, and Nneka acknowledges that her competitive nature drove her to act out of anger. The conversation is difficult, but it's also cathartic. Slowly, they begin to reconnect, not as the inseparable trio they once were, but as three individuals who have grown from their experience. They agree to take things one step at a time, rebuilding trust and supporting each other as they move forward. As the final weeks of school approach, the girls continue to rebuild their friendship. They no longer compete for Uche's attention, instead focusing on their own personal goals and dreams. Ada begins preparing for university entrance exams, while Nneka is elected captain of the debate team. Ifeoma, embracing a new sense of humility, strengthens her relationships with other classmates. The girls are not the same as they were before, but in many ways, they are stronger. Their friendship has weathered the storm of jealousy, deceit, and heartbreak, and they've come out on the other side with a deeper understanding of each other. On the last day of school, Ada, Nneka, and Ifeoma gather in their favorite spot one last time. They talk about the future, about their dreams, their fears, and the lessons they've learned. Though the path ahead is uncertain, they know that whatever happens, they'll always have the bond that brought them together in the first place. As they laugh and reminisce, it's clear that while their friendship has changed, it's far from over. The chapter on Uche is closed, but a new one has begun, one filled with possibility, growth, and the knowledge that true friendship can survive even the toughest trials.